fun capital of the world, it's the Jackie Gleason Show. And away we go!
How sweet it is.
You ever see a blonde guy making a pizza in an Italian restaurant window? I never did. How about those takeover guys that go in with a group of people to a Chinese restaurant? He says, all right, here's what we're going to do now. We'll order different stuff, see? And we'll all have a little piece of yours, you have a piece of mine, and we'll all have different kinds of food. He says, and bring chopsticks for everybody. Chopsticks for everybody but him. He eats with a fork. He's shoveling it in nice, you know. You know what I like about Chinese restaurants? When they serve the finger food, like ribs, the little ribs, and after you finish, they bring out a little washcloth, steaming, you know, it's been dipped in hot water, a little thing like that, they have it on a plate. I remember the first time they brought one out to me. I asked the waiter to take it back. He wouldn't take it back. I had eaten half of it. I thought it was an egg roll.
The month is, of course, the World Series. Excitement runs high, bands play, banners wave, and the rooters are ready to razz or cheer. Play ball. The big moment has arrived. We take you now to the stadium where the baseball manager is warming up his star pitcher.
Every year at this time, ever since I've been on television, which is about 15, 16 years, I tell this joke. Now, nothing ever happens to this joke. This lays a bomb like the world has never seen. But I used to tell it in my act, and I think it's a funny joke. And I'm going to keep telling it every year until it gets a laugh. Now, here's the joke. Believe me, this is a funny joke. There's a two-headed midget sitting in the lobby of a hotel in New York. And both of his heads look very sad. So I go up to him and I said, hello, Harry. See, already it's starting. I said, you look very sad. I said, what's the matter? He says, do you remember last year? He said, I went out to California and I made a picture with Cary Grant. I said, yes. He said, well, he just walked through the lobby here and didn't even say hello to me. I said, well, maybe he didn't recognize you. Don't try to make up. I don't understand it. That joke's a riot. And the same thing happened when I told it in my act. Nothing. But I gotta say this. I must admit, I had the world's worst act. If somebody dropped a stink bomb in a theater, they wouldn't know it if I was on. That's how bad. I played here at the Olympia Theater. And it was a very quiet engagement. No applause, laughs, nothing. Very quiet. I recall some of the act. Just listen to these few gems. Have you got Laura? Just let the piano player, just very slow. I used to do this recitation. I say, oh, Laura. I remember her just as if it were yesterday. Leaning up against the fire hydrant with the wind running through a crew haircut. And her eyes. Her eyes had the dreamy quality of wet Kleenex. Her nose looked like a broken bicycle seat. She had such buck teeth, she was the only girl I knew could eat a sandwich through a Venetian blind. That was some of the funny stuff I used to do. Then after I had the audience helpless with laughter, I used to do them impersonations. And I really did some great impersonations, and I'm going to I'm going to do them again tonight for you. Unfortunately, most of the people that I do have passed away. That's how old the act is. But my first impression will be that of a scene from Mutiny on the Bounty with Charles Lawton. Christian! Come down here! Did you hear me, Christian? I said come down! Oh, come on, Christian. Come on down. Next, Charles Boyer. Gay. He does that. He's sexy. I do it. I'm a pig. You know, this wasn't too bad an act, I'll tell you that. Humphrey Bogart. All right, baby, get up against that wall. Now, I don't know what that means. But that was it. That was my Humphrey Bogart impersonation. Next, please, no applause. I have a headache. Next, Peter Lorre. Did you get the information for me, Mr. Miller? Is that a gem?
Nice, Dad. You're Frank Fontaine.
Thank you, sir.
You look lovely.
You know, when I started out in show business, Jackie, I used to do impersonations, too.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Well, would you like to do 300 or 400 for us right now?
Oh, Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock.
As the scene opens, there's a dead body on the floor. I think the murderer must have been Jimmy Cagney. Oh, now look at here. Eddie, now was him. Not blaming me. Yeah, must have been Peter Lorre. I know it wasn't
Wait a minute,
me.
I
was
did Peter.
Oh.
Do you wrong?
It must have been Jimmy Stewart. It must have been Claude Rains.
These are my impersonations.
I was watching President Johnson make a speech, and I shall never forget it when he said, I asked Great Britain to give the island of Gibraltar to France, and they can name it the Gallstone.
You sure you didn't hear that in my act?
We used to steal from each other many a time. If you think we're kidding, what have you got to say about this, Senator Dirksen? Oh, I was waiting for that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Ellie Curtis. I know what you're going to say.
You're right.
You're going to say that you do impersonations too.
I do, Jack.
Well, go right ahead.
All
Let's hear a
right.
few
Rose
impersonations.
Murphy.
That's the only thing I'm plenty of, baby. Dream a while, scheme a while. You're sure to find happiness, and I guess
sweet. How's that, sir?
Very, very good.
Marlena Dietrich.
Falling in love again. Never want to do. What am I to do? Can't help
Little kid.
Say, c'est bon. So I say it to you, like the French people do. And if you only would be my own for the rest of my days, I will whisper this phrase. My darling, say, c'est bon. My darling, say, c'est bon.
When the moon comes over the mountain, everything of you. Each day is gray and dreary, but the night is bright and cheery. When the moon comes over the mountain, every beam brings a dream, dear, of you.
You know, there's only one way to end an impersonation act, and that's with Durante. A little Durante, please. Hey, that ain't new.
Ladies and gentlemen, although the Russian space program is not completely ready to send an astronaut to the moon, they have decided to go ahead with the moonshot anyway. We now show you the Russian astronaut who has been selected to make the first trip to the moon, having his last meal before entering the space capsule.
Same thing coming up, pal. Down. Huh? Nothing, you know. Just hanging around. Oh, I was reading the American Scene magazine. My favorite column, that Dear Miss Fairfax column. Get a load of this one, Mr. Donahue. It says, Dear Miss Fairfax, my daughter is getting married next June, and I'm worried about how the marriage will work out because she's a loyal Democrat and he's a devout Republican. Signed, Anxious. It says, Dear Anxious, let them get married. It's obvious that they want to start a third party. She's the soul of the earth, Donahue. Huh? Oh, he's in the back. I'll call him out. Hey, Grace!
Hiya, Joe. Hello, Mr. J.E. Oh, boy, if I got a good riddle for you, Joe. This one is terrific. Why did the moth eat the bugs and all the carpets? What? No, why did the moth eat the carpets in the nightclub?
What?
Why did the moth eat the rugs in the nightclub?
I give up. Why did the moth eat the rugs in the nightclub?
You want to see the floor show? What did the hairdresser say when she washed the chicken? I'm going to give a hen a rinse.
How about saying a little song for Donahue and me?
Okay, Joe.
Hey, Donahue, put it down to number 15, will you?
There's action for the SWAT team when they are called to investigate the murders of 3 young men tomorrow night at 5. Then at 6, watch Hawaii Five-0. The gates open with harness racing.
From Miami Beach, the sun and fun capital of the world, it's the Jackie Gleason Show. And away we go!
I want to tell you, Sam, I've seen creations. But this is a creation. Will you take a picture of our orchestra leader, Sammy Spear? Now, I'm going to prove something for all time. Have you got a trumpet? Come, bring up trumpet. Bring a trumpet. Now, folks, you're going to see something tonight that I've heard that you play trumpet. Tonight, you and I are going to play a duet. A duet? A duet. Now, the tune, I Love You Truly, right? You play the fills, I play the melody. Okay?
Be my guest.
All right. Could you get some kind of an introduction
Oh,
to this?
sure. Fellas, you may have a little 8-bar introduction in A-flat, I Love You
Not a
Truly.
little 8-bar introduction, a big 8-bar.
A big 8-bar introduction. Hank, please.
See, I don't play often, you know, and I gotta warm up. Get slapped in the mouth. What a ham bone. What class? What class? What was that? Yeah, I thought that's one of them. You ever hear about the time I was in a subway and I saw one of Sammy's musicians, a saxophone player, playing in the subway for nickels and dimes? I said to him, do you know what would happen to you if I told Sammy Spear that you were doing this? He says, tell him he's in the next car. Now make this pretty, you poor soul.
talk about pay television. Many companies have experimented with different ways to make it work. The biggest problem is how to protect themselves against the individual who tries to tamper with the set so as to avoid paying to see the program. The American Scene magazine now shows you one way the makers of pay television sets have of combating this problem.
In the world is that of boy meets girl. The only thing that has ever changed in this story is the method in which they meet. The American Scene magazine now shows you a tender love scene demonstrating how lovers would get together in the days of the caveman.
cheesemakers of Switzerland have been famous for making a cheese with holes in it. People have often wondered exactly how these holes in cheese are made. The American Scene magazine now shows you how this is done. Become the nation's most popular sport. The American male is found on the golf course during most of his free time. This leaves the woman of the house alone most of the time. And she has become what is known as a golf widow. We now show you how the term golf widow originated.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Toot, toot, tooty, toot. Yep, da, da. Huh? The can? What can? Oh, this can. Oh, this is a thing that Rennie Callahan started. It's a fund. You want to subscribe something to it? Nickels, dimes, anything. We're making a collection to send the Mets to summer camp. Huh? Craze? Oh, he's in the back. I'll call him out. Hey, Craze!
Hi, Joe. Oh, Mr. Johnny. Hey, Joe, you should have been with us the other night. Bookshelf Robinson and his wife went on a South Caribbean cruise. And the whole gang got together and gave them a big blowout in their stateroom. What a terrific time. Everybody brought presents. Moriarty brought the champagne, and Teddy Delanza brought the candy, and Gaylord Farquhar brought flowers. Joe Calibre and Max Gold brought all the sandwiches and refreshments. And Fruity too. He brought his uncle. What a terrific time. And Buggy Lombardo goes over to Mrs. Robinson. He says, I brought you something to put around, you know, you can throw this around your shoulders. He gives her a box of confetti. What a goofy guy he is. Mrs. Robinson looked very stunning, Joe. She had a beautiful pair of pearls. And Muriel Bushkirk kept looking at her, you know. She finally walked over and she said, "Gee, Mrs. Robinson, what a beautiful pair of pearls. I wish I had pearls like that." Mrs. Robinson says, "Why, Muriel Bushkirk, I heard your boyfriend bought you pearls for Christmas." And Muriel says, "Oh, no. He just got me a dozen oysters and wished me good luck." Hey, Joe, who do you think shows up? Belly Laps Bailey. What a riot he is. What a funny guy. Every time I look at him wearing that dopey hat, what do you say? But you know, Belly Laps knows a lot about boats, Joe. He said the front part is the forward and the back part is the afterward. The right side is the starboard and the left side is the port side. And he said that little room up on top where they got the big wheel, you call that the steerage. And he said, by the way, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, you don't have a thing to worry about. I was just talking to the captain, and he says he hasn't got a Tate's compass. I says, "What do you mean, a Tate's compass?" "You mean to say the captain hasn't got a Tate's compass?" That's what I said to him.
Well, wait a minute. What is a Tate's compass?
Well, Belly Laps said the Tate's compass was invented in 1885 by Oliver P. Tate, and it was a very popular compass. Everybody bought a Tate compass. Indian scouts, captains, everybody, hunters bought a Tate's compass. Then all of a sudden, Joe, something happened to the needles in the compass. Everything started going wrong with it. Everybody got lost with the Tate's compass. All over the world, sea captains got lost, hunters got lost, they got lost in the woods, way out in the prairies. And that's where they got that old expression.
What expression?
He who has a Tatus is lost.